A.L. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your day, enjoying your Sunday. For those of y'all who are watching across the pond, I'm sure you guys are just waking up, getting your cup of joe in your body and all that. But of course, we've been talking about this particular situation, this particular story, and this tragic story revolving around Tyre Nichols, 29-year-old black man that was in Memphis minding his own business, had 15 minutes before meeting his demise, was taking photos of sunsets, got into his car, drove and got cut off by police, and of course all hell broke loose. And of course he lost his life 3 days later in a hospital with mind-blowing, eye-opening, and shocking injuries that only were administered to him or onto his body by multiple police officers. Now, we all saw the footage. We all saw it. Together as a family, we held hands and watched in absolute shock as things unfolded right in front of our very eyes. And still, I still needed a day off just to kind of, I don't even know what the words, I don't even have the words to say it or try to explain how it affected me. But I even had to take a day off to just kind of deflate, right? Step away from it for a second and let it just percolate, right? And let it ruminate in my body, in my soul, and all that. And of course, for everyone else, for the rest of the world to see what these multiple officers, because there were more than five, y'all. There were more than five that were a part of the demise of this young man. I will say that. All right. It really angers me, and it really hurts to even think about the images that flash through my mind about this. But at the same time, we've seen these kind of images before. Maybe a minor to gruesome. We have seen it a million times. This is a tale as old as time. Let's be real. It's a tale as old as time. But we're going to get into it. We got some more information, or we got questions now. Understandably, we got many questions, y'all. So before we get into it, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes. It's Sunday. And I know that this is a story that is out there, but it's, like I said, we need justice for this young man. Period, point blank. There is no way anyone out here that is laid their eyes on this footage can sit here and say that this was justified. I know that there's opposing people out here that are saying different things, okay? And we may talk about them for a little bit. We might sprinkle some of their nonsense into this conversation in a little bit. But please, if you can, hit that like button just for the justice for this young man, to get his story out here, because he does deserve justice, period. Okay? And if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. And also, just like Faith Fit Fun just did, triple F's, okay? Just did. Welcome to becoming a family member. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. Just like her, you can hit that join button down below and join the family. Consider becoming a part of the family membership, okay? Now, like Faith, she can use some really, really cool emojis and all those things. There's certain things that you guys can do, even during, even when I put the chat into slow mode. There's some really cool things you can do once you become a member. So consider becoming a member by hitting that join button down below. Anyway, of course, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You're missing out on the greatest family on this side of these YouTube streets. Okay. Now, there's a lot to talk about, as we already know. There was a young man, again, by the name of Tyre Nichols, 29 years old, was minding his own business, driving home after taking photos of a sunset. I kid you not. That's literally what he was doing before he was driving himself back home. Cops cornered him, cut him off, jumped up, and just went after him in the most gruesome and most mind-blowing way that I'm still trying to understand why this even happened. But what's really interesting about this is that the rest of the world, y'all, is trying to understand what the hell happened here and why this happened. It's pretty damn amazing that the world is starting to come together in solidarity over this as well, and saying that this is unjust. Yes, there's some pushback. There's some people out here that are just, I don't know, just calloused human beings that don't know, that have no care for human life, I guess. All right. But there are a lot of people that are sitting here going, I still just don't understand how this happened. Even people who say back the blue are still looking at this and going, what happened? And I'm not knocking anybody that says back the blue. So hold on, time out. I ain't saying nothing, no ill will to those people at all. All I'm saying is that now we got people who are stepping forward. I've been seeing these internet streets on the twits, okay? I've been seeing it. People going, whoa, this was unbelievable. There's no excuse for this, right? Real quick, Lisa Marie Pritchard, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Wasn't even planning on doing a live today at all. I was going to take these 2 days off, literally, because of what we saw. And I was like, I just need this to percolate. Right? But then I saw this article that did bring up things that I even said on the show, that when we saw those gruesome videos. And by the way, I did not take the video down. The video's still up. It is now behind a 18 plus wall. So only if you are a subscriber to my channel, or whatever you are, I don't know, you have some subscription to YouTube or something like that. I think that's how it goes. You can like hit the, like you confirm that you're over 18 years old and you're willing to watch this footage, because the footage is very gruesome. And I knew something like that was going to happen. Like it was going to be putting a wall where you're going to have to get through it and all that. But it is still up because I do believe that we need to see warts and all, and y'all need to see warts and all of the truth of what happened to this young man. Right? Now, there are other things though. Like I said, everyone has seen it, but there's so many questions that have been popping up. And then I kid you not, I was chilling, minding my business, spending time with my family and all that stuff. And then this article popped up, okay? Which I'm going to show you guys right here. Okay? Hold on. Which popped up right here. And the funny thing is when we were watching the footage, we all together were watching this as a family, right? We all asked, or at least you, you guys in the chat and myself, we were echoing the same questions, right? Some of them are not in this article here. Some of them are not here. But I am going to we're going to circle back and go through those questions again too, right? But some of them, like these main questions here, which are very obvious, but let me blow this up so you guys can see a little bit better. Tyre Nichols, the 5 unanswered questions. Why did police pull him over? Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Why did they pull him over? We're hearing from the chief of police the chief of Memphis Police, the same police officer, the same chief that oversees this Scorpion unit, right? Which we are going to talk about here in just a minute. Thanks to you guys out there for giving me all the information, the articles and whatnot about Scorpion, okay? So we are going to talk about that here in a second. But as you can see, you have even the chief of police says that there was no reason to believe that there was that he was driving recklessly, right? That he was going off for some strange reason, right? We're going to get into that in a second. I'm just going to read these questions really quick. Did they know him? Let's be real, because Kelly 22 just said it right there. This beating seems so personal. He got pulled out the car right off the bat. And you had people screaming, other officers saying, tase him, tase him, tase him. Again, I'm looking at this and I'm going, why? Why? Why is this young man getting pulled out of the car like he is like the doggone Unabomber? I said it. Why is he getting pulled out the car like he just caused a mass unaliving? Or that he's on his way to commit one of the most horrendous crimes in the world? Or he's out on the lam, right? He's out here kicking rocks out in these wilderness streets because he's been hiding out like a Brian Laundrie type situation. And oh, damn, we got him now. Drag him out of the car. Get down, get down, get down. You know what I mean? Why did they go after him in such a fashion in the way that they did? I'm still trying to understand that as well. Okay? And then, of course, what was his cause of demise? What actually is the thing that caused him to pass on? And the descriptions that we have heard so far about the broken bones, the injuries that he received, are astounding. And also, let's not forget, we all saw the video. We all saw the videos. Plural, baby. We all saw it together. There's no denying that this young man, was pummeled to his very end. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again. They straight up took this man's life like he owed them money. That's it. But let's get into this article. And don't worry, I'm not showing any of the footage here, okay? I'm not showing any of the footage because we all been seen it. And if you want to go see it, please, by all means, go back and check out the show I previously did covering this when they initially released the body cam footage and the security cam footage from some light post, street lamp post, you see a bird's eye view of what actually went down. Again, before I go into this article, they were holding him. They propped him up. They kicked him while he was down. They kicked him while he was down. Then one of the guys pulled out a nightstick and started to beat his back, saying, give us your hands, give us your hands, give us your hands. When the cops already had his hands, they were holding him against his will. Then they propped him up as they continued to, as one of the officers actually said, I straight gave him haymakers, yo. Man, that dude can take a hit. Really? This man really said this. As other officers are agreeing with him and going, damn, man, yeah, I can't believe, I was just getting straight rocky with him, man. He made that dude. He on something. He's on drugs. As he's being held up and they continue to administer blows to his face and body. I got so many questions. So many. We're going to go back to that officer in just a minute. Please, someone in the chat, remind me to just say, yeah, that dude that said haymakers, remind me about haymakers. Okay? Dude, haymaker dude. All right? Let's get into this article. Because again, we've all seen the footage, and there's so many questions I have revolving around those body cam videos that we all seen. And of course, that bird's eye view. I'm just going to call it that. The bird's eye view video that we saw. Okay. So days after the sickening footage was revealed of the brutal beating of Tyre Nichols in Memphis, Tennessee, several questions remain, including why was he pulled over in the first place and what was ultimately his cause of demise. The footage has left many unanswered questions about the traffic stop involving the black motorist and the role played by police officers who stood by as he lay motionless on the pavement. The 5 disgraced Memphis Police Department officers, who are also black, have been fired and charged with second-degree M and other crimes in Nichols' demise 3 days after the arrest. Now, one thing I got to say it, because there's questions already that I do not agree with, okay? There should be more than just 5 officers catching a charge right now, if you ask me, okay? I myself, me personally, I think every single last one of those officers that had their hands on him from the moment they pulled him out of the car to the moment they administered blows to him on the corner, 3 doors down from his mama's house, every single last one of those officers should be catching some sort of charge. Period, point blank. Remember, and I know somebody got really upset when I said this, and I don't care. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just being trying to throw some lightness in this very dark situation. But remember when I said Caucasian hands? Remember the white guy? Now, I'm not trying to throw race card stuff. I'm not. But there was an actual man with white hands. It was his body cam footage. His hands were out like this. And I said, who be Caucasian hands? Who that though? Who that man? Who that? Right? Why isn't he catching a charge? He's one of the many that shot their taser into that young man to begin with. From the jump, he was a part of it. Why isn't Caucasian hands catching no charges? Then, on top of that, let's not forget about the body cam or the bird's eye view footage looking down, okay, at this horrendous situation, okay? Mind-blowing situation. There were more than 5 dudes on that man. More than 5. We all counted it, remember? Oh, y'all are amazing, though. Y'all don't let anything slip by you, and that's what's so incredible about every single last one of these families. Y'all in this family, y'all don't let anything go by. You guys are sitting there going, wait a second, hold up, the math ain't mathing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8 mother lovers on this dude right here. Why aren't they getting any charges? But 5 of them do? I'm telling you, from the moment that the footage starts, and the white cop, I'm sorry, but that's the only way I can describe him right now because I do not know his name, okay? But Caucasian hands got out of the car, and that's when we see the scene. That's when it's like action. Boom. They pull him out of the ride. He's like, what's going on? Kid is sitting there compliant as F. And then somebody out there is saying, tase him, tase him, tase him. They pull out they all start pulling out their tasers and start tasing him. Even Caucasian hands. So why isn't Caucasian hands getting any charges? Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. They maced him. They tased him. Every single last one of those cops from the jump, literally and metaphorically speaking, should be catching a charge. Maybe not second degree M, but they should be catching a charge. Period. Real quick, Tammy Dahl, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. I really do appreciate the support. Thank you. Okay. Bree Denise, where? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to the catch up here. Bree Denise said, from the begin. Yep. Period. I know what you meant. From the beginning. Yes, absolutely. From the beginning, Bree. From the absolute start of that video. Right when he got out that car, right when the cop got out that car, ran over to Tyre's car, and they ripped him out of that car, and then they started to basically assault this man. They should have been catching charges. I said it. I know some of y'all don't agree, okay? But they were part of it. There was excessive force from the very beginning. And we're going to get into it because it's even said in this article here. Even the chief of police is saying that they were over the top. They went too far from the jump. Let's go. So the video released Friday also renewed questions about how fatal encounters with law enforcement continue even after repeated calls for change. And that's the other thing. It's like, how often are we going to sit here and go hashtag justice for Tyre, hashtag justice for George Floyd, hashtag, well, hashtags didn't exist then, but hashtag Rodney King, right? How many times are we going to actually have these? How many men and women do we have to lose at the hands of the police for there not to be some sort of serious, one, accountability, and two, focus on change on how they police civilians? This has got to be the biggest wake-up call. Shoot, it should have been a big wake-up call with George Floyd. But what happened? What happened? We were quiet for what, 2 years? I mean, there was other moments of unjust as well, but did it change anything? Did it though? So of course there's going to be questions of when is it going to change? When are things going to start changing here? When is a kid, not even a kid, a father who likes to skateboard and loves photography, going to be able to take a photo of a beautiful sunset, get in his car, and drive his butt back home to his mama in one piece without ever worrying about getting pulled over and losing his life within 30 minutes? When is that actually going to happen? Because I tell you what, that's not at all what happened for Tyre Nichols. Not at all. So we already know about what happened to this young man. Okay? We already know what happened. And we also know that he called out to his mother. And the Memphis Police Director, C.J. Davis, Chief of Police, has said that the other officers, are under investigation. And Shelby County Sheriff Floyd Bonner said 2 deputies have been relieved of duty without pay while their conduct is investigated. Now, I'm assuming that those other officers that are under investigation and some have been relieved or like they're suspended without pay right now, I'm assuming those also include the guys that initially pulled him out of the car. I'm assuming. Okay. They have not said, they have not stated their names or anything of that sort. We don't know anything about that. Okay. But I'm assuming that, the guy I've been calling Caucasian Hands, the white cop, all right, I'm assuming he's one of the many that have been either relieved or that are under serious investigation right now, because they were all part of the problem. They were all. And like I said, I'm not sitting here saying that they should be getting for a second degree M or anything of that sort, but they should be investigated into, and they should catch some sort of charge, because they did go after this man, and it was over the top. They assaulted this young man right out the gate. Period. But let's continue. Rodney Wells, Nichols' stepfather, said the family would continue to seek justice, noting that several other officers failed to render aid, making them just as culpable as the officers who threw the blows. Now, let's talk about that. See that's the thing. We talked about this when we watched the videos. I need to get used to saying videos. Okay? They were caught in 4K. Okay? It was more like 720, more like 360, but you know what I'm saying. Okay? The figure of speech. They were caught. But let's talk about those. Let's talk about the ones that were supposed to be there to render aid. Whether that's EMT or if that was maybe fire. Okay? Whatever it was, whatever unit showed up as they waited for an ambulance to show up. Do you remember that they just sat there? They just sat there, y'all, for 20 doggone minutes as this man is on the ground, leaking out, writhing in pain. And they just stood there watching him, flashing their lights in his eye, like in his face, just to make sure he's not passed out. But that's about it. Not once did they go and administer aid to this young man. Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they administer aid? Why is he nothing to them? He didn't steal nothing. He didn't hurt nobody. 20 minutes. We watched it together. We watched the whole thing right there. And I'm sitting there going, wow. Dudes are walking around lighting up cigarettes and stuff. I'm telling you, they were lighting up cigarettes. Some of them, of course, were trying to get the mace out of their eyes because they were, the pepper spray, because they were caught downwind. You know what I mean? They're all pepper spraying the hell out of this kid. Why 20 minutes? Why did they do anything for this young man for 20 minutes when they could have done something that could have saved his life? Found ways to stop the swelling, something. But they treated him like he was garbage. Like his life was nothing. That he was less than nothing, y'all. I've seen people treat their worst enemies better than that. I'll say that. And I'm dead ass. I've seen it. I've seen it. Okay? Lily Black 15. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it, because I have a feeling this video ain't gonna get no much. It's probably gonna get the 18 plus thing too. I wouldn't be surprised. So I appreciate the support. Okay, I really, really do. Okay, and that's the thing, though, guys. Like, when we look at this and we talk about this, I know how quickly people want to go on race and or get super, super frustrated when we talk about certain things like this between police and a civilian like this. I just keep saying, and I keep asking every single last one of y'all, if you just close your eyes, and instead of it being Tyre, it be your best friend, it be your son, it be your daughter, it be your mama. It doesn't matter. We hear so many stories like this every single day that go beyond race, beyond color, where young men and women and old men and women getting brutalized by police because of some stupid misunderstanding. Or they mistake a spatula for a gun. Or they think the cell phone is a gun. Or they just think somebody's hands are guns. I mean, it's ridiculous, y'all. We see these stories over and over and over again. Like I said the other day, there was another guy. I'm not kidding you. Disabled man was in his trailer. Cops showed up to answer to some sort of, I don't know, some 911. I don't know. They were answering to something. Okay. And this guy opens up his trailer and the cop just unloads on him. And if I'm correct, his wife was like right behind him. And he just fell right on top of her and all that. He had nothing in his hands. The man was white, by the way. Nothing in his hands. And this man lost his life. No, sorry, he didn't lose his life, but he was severely injured. Shot a couple times because of a misunderstanding. Somebody make that make sense. Somebody make that make sense. So when I see stuff like that and I hear stories like this is beyond just black and blue. This is beyond that now. Okay? Ninja Kitty, I don't understand it either. I really don't. It's very heartbreaking. Hold on, I got a couple. Hold on, I got another. Missed Siren, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family, Missed Siren. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I got a super chat here too. Dixie Chicken 1969. Was the chicken really good back then? Why 1960? I'm just wondering. Dixie Chicken. Thank you so much for the 20. I appreciate it. Thank you for covering this. Prayers to his family and loved ones. Absolutely. Okay. But let's continue. All right. I know. I'm sorry that I get so heated on this one. This one just frustrates me because this man did nothing wrong. This man did nothing. And we're going to hear that in a second in this same article. I don't have to jump to other ones. It's the same-ish. This man took photos of a sunset, got into his car, drove down. He wasn't even 15 minutes away from his home, allegedly. Gets pulled over like he was like off-roading, like he's on Grand Theft Auto. And then he loses his life. You know, even Brian Vigneault, I think, said, I'm a white male in Oakland, California. I'm just trying to figure out why. I think a lot of us are, right? A lot of us are going, what the hell? This is absolutely terrible. But let's continue on, okay? Let's continue on. Let's march forward. So even Rodney Wells' father, his stepfather, said that, you know, even the ones that failed to render him aid, the ones that were lighting up cigarettes, talking about it, reminiscing about all the stuff that didn't even go down, the lies that were being told, because there were lies being told. There was a narrative that they were starting to concoct. If you saw the body cam footage, like the fourth video I showed you guys near the end, they all started talking. Oh, he's on drugs. Oh, definitely he's on something. He did this, that, and the third. Oh, yeah, he swung at me. He even tried to grab at my sidearm. These are all the things that they were saying here, y'all. That's all the stuff. The narrative that they were starting to build. They were literally trying to build a narrative in that conversation. Okay? That's bad. Oh, and I got more. Like I said, remind me Haymaker guy. Just remind me Haymaker guy. I'm getting to it. I promise you. Okay? So, the arrest was made by the so-called Scorpion Unit. which has 3 teams of about 30 street officers who target violent offenders in areas beset by high crime. The unit has since been disbanded. By the way, this Scorpion unit just got disbanded, just got destroyed, just so you know. Okay? Ooh, thank you, K Solo. Thank you. Those Caucasian hands belong to Preston Hemphill. Interesting. That's good to know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that information, K Solo. Okay. Um. So this is interesting. Okay. And something. Lateef just said something. My boy, what's up, my dude? Lateef, how you doing, man? He said, "F that, Pascal. You're allowed to express your anger just like Joy. Those dudes probably grow up together in surrounding areas. Oh, F boy, Inc. Yeah. Now got power. Now we got power. Go. Got yourself in. Got yourself a gun. Punk. Yeah. I feel you." I feel your frustration, Lateef. I feel your frustration. Now, they were part of that same group. The Scorpion unit got dismantled literally like yesterday, like just the other day, over this weekend. Let's just say that. Since the release of those videos that we all saw Friday night, we all watched together in horror, all right? We saw that. The very next day, Scorpion unit was dismantled. It went bye-bye. No more. Don't exist no more. Yet they were there, the 30 street officers who target violent offenders, okay? That are beset in areas beset by high crime. So they used the same tactics that they would use on a dude that's maybe pushing a whole lot of weight, or has done something like he unalived some people, or he's some sort of gangbanger and he's armed and very dangerous type of thing. They use that same tactic, the same approach that they would have on some vicious gangbanger, and they administered that same thing onto Tyre Nichols. And then when he ran, they just assumed that he was just up to no good and he was just a bad guy. And how dare they make them huff and puff and sweat out some of those donuts and those extra calories. So they decided to curb stomp him 3 doors away from his own mama's house. Why was Scorpion unit out there pulling him over on a routine traffic stop? And why did they administer that type of force onto something so small on a routine traffic stop? Someone make that make sense. That makes no sense to me, y'all. Fuzz, thank you so much for the 5. I'm so scared for my son's future. He is nonverbal autistic and wouldn't even know how to comply. Fuzz, thank you so much for sharing that. And see, that's the thing. I mean, even if someone who is on the spectrum or who is not on the spectrum, this is terrifying because you have someone, and I'm not trying to fearmonger, I'm not, but we have to talk about the reality of these things. You have a man, Tyre Nichols, for example, that was compliant. We heard it, we saw it. And then they just started beating on him, tasing him and macing him and all that stuff. Why? So, what was the probable cause for the initial traffic stop? Okay. So, questions swirled around what led the traffic stop in the first place. And that's something that we still don't fully know. We're only hearing from one cop that said one thing, and that's it. Oh, he just tried to hit my car, which is going to be said here in the article here too. So one officer can be heard saying that Nichols wouldn't stop and then swerved as he thought he intended to hit the officer's car. The officer said that when Nichols pulled up to a red light, the officers jumped out of the car. And remember, when you remember the video, when the first cop got out of the car, there was a car, one of the cop cars cut him off, like drove right up in front of his car so that Tyre couldn't pull off, right? They made sure that this dude wasn't going nowhere. He wasn't going to budge, like he had done something terrible. Like he's a gangbanger, or he went and he was moving weight or something, about to administer crack to young kids or something. I don't know what it was, but they went after him hard. For what reason, we do not know. Still, because we have not seen that footage. And do they have footage of that? We don't know. Okay? So they jumped out of the car at the red when Nichols pulled up to the red light. We tried to get him to stop, the officer said. He didn't stop. It looked like he was in a stop position when they started pulling him out the car. Wasn't like the car was in drive. I will say that. You tell me what you guys saw in the video. Okay? In the videos. Okay? Officers officially initially said that he was pulled over for reckless driving, but on Friday, police said there was no police evidence to back up such claim. I wonder why. Maybe because there wasn't anything to back it up. Maybe because there was no proof of him doing said thing. Maybe this cop just had an optical illusion or something. Just assumed the dude was trying to drive his car into his unmarked squad car. I don't know, but that still doesn't make sense to me, y'all. Indeed, the video footage that was released only started after police confronted him at the intersection. The initial traffic stop does not appear to have been filmed, but it is not clear why. Okay. Now, remember whenever somebody's doing, like whenever you hear these stories about people getting pulled over and whatnot, don't they usually have the cams turn on? Don't they have those things turn on right off the bat? Or something of that sort? Not the body cam. I'm talking about like dash cam, right? Why isn't there any footage showing him swerving on the road, showing actual law being broken, right? Of him recklessly driving, swerving in and out. Where's the proof of that? Why isn't there anything like that out here? They have yet to show it. They even said, on Friday, police said there's no police evidence to back up the claims of reckless driving. So we're just going on hearsay? We're just going on one officer's claim? One officer saying, oh, yeah, he tried to hit me with his car, I mean. And that's why I pulled him over? Or that's why I cut him off at an intersection and then we pulled him out and then beat him senseless? Where's the car fox, y'all? Where's the car fox? Let's continue. Indeed, the video footage that was released only started when the police... Oh, I already said this already. Chief Davis said the department cannot substantiate the reason for the stop. So even your chief of police, Memphis chief of police, the one that runs all the best and brightest of that city, can't even say why this stop even transpired. That's nuts, guys. That's absolutely nuts. She goes on to say, we don't know what happened, she said. All we know is the amount of force that was applied in this situation was over the top. Right there. And I made it blue so you guys can see it all the way from the nosebleed seats. So somebody make this make sense. Because you got right here, let's take a look. I'm not going to play the videos, but you can see these stills. This is Tyre's car. There's another squad car that cut him off right here, okay, in the intersection. We all seen this. There's another cop car right here, and then there's a cop car right there in the back over here, if you can see the mouse over here, okay? And then you got a cop here. You got another cop about to run out here to get to the car to open up the door, and they attack this dude. For what reason, we don't know. Okay? I'm not going to go through all that gruesome stuff, but you've seen it all. Even so, he turns to the white cop and is even telling him, like, yo, stop. Like, even in this replay, as we're watching right now, as a family, he went down to the ground as they asked him to. He was compliant, and yet he still is no longer here. What the hell, y'all? What in the hell? Why did the cops accused of taking the life of Nichols treat him so brutally? Did any of them know the victim previously? Now, this is obviously another question that I've been wanting to know. Did they know? Did they happen to know Tyre? Did one of them know? Did the guy that initially pulled him over, did he know Tyre? Was he connected to him in some strange way? Why was he treated in such a way? Again, I asked this on the other show before, but I'll ask it here too. Did he suddenly match the description of somebody else? Black man in this particular car, he matched the description, so therefore, bada bada bop. Like I said, somebody make this make sense. Because so far, none of the math is mathing. And then I'm looking at this and I'm like, still, no matter what, this does not justify the loss of a life, period. So after the first officer roughly pulls Nichols out of the car, Nichols can be heard saying, "I didn't do anything," as a group of officers begins to wrestle him to the ground. One officer is heard yelling, "Tase him, tase him," and you hear it in the video. Nichols calmly says, "Okay, I'm on the ground. You guys are really doing a lot right now." This is what Nichols said. "I'm just trying to go home." "Stop. I'm not doing anything," he yells moments later. He is initially compliant with the officer's request, although he was confused by their hostility towards him. And he lies on the ground as told to, while police try to handcuff him. It's unclear if he had any prior encounters with any of the cops involved. Nichols can be then seen running after an officer fires a taser at him. Now, this is more than just a taser. They also tried to pepper spray him as well. Hence the reason why we all saw it. Okay? Hence the reason why one of the other cops was getting his eyes flushed out with water, because he had just got hit with pepper spray, because they were also pepper spraying him too, y'all. They were tasing him and pepper spraying him at the same doggone time. Okay? His mother's home, where he lived, was only a few houses away from the scene of the beating, and his family said he was trying to get there. The officers then started to chase Nichols. Other officers are called, and a search ensues before Nichols is caught at another intersection. The officers beat him with a baton, kick him while he's down, and punch him, then pepper spray him, with police anger towards him only growing as the security camera footage shows 3 officers surrounding Nichols as he lies in the street, cornered between police cars with a 4th officer nearby. So, which officer did what during the violence that unalived Nichols? 2 officers hold Nichols to the ground as he moves about, and then a 3rd appears to kick him in the head. Nichols slumps more fully onto the pavement, with all 3 officers surrounding him. The same officer kicks him again. The fourth officer then walks over, draws a baton, holds it up at shoulder level as two officers hold Nichols upright as if he were sitting. He says, "I'm going to baton the F out of you." This is what one of the officers said. His body camera shows him raise the baton while at least one other officer holds Nichols. The officer strikes him in the back with the baton 3 times in a row. Now, what's crazy is the fact that, and I'm not going to read all the details. We all saw it in the video, y'all. Okay. But it was crazy. It was almost like a scene from a movie, because you see him walk out, like he comes by, and you see that Nichols is on the ground, but he's in eyesight. He sees the officer pull out this baton and go fink, because it's one of those retractable nightsticks, one of those retractable batons. But he made sure that Nichols saw what he was about to use on him. He's like, fink. He's like, I'm about to use this on you, right? And then he starts to beat this guy in the back, this young man in the back with this baton, saying, give us your hands, give us your hands, give us your hands. It's unbelievable, y'all. See, this is the reason why I think that the chief of police came out and said those things like, this defies humanity. This is worse than Rodney King. I think that there's a reason why she said the things that she said. Because one, yeah, she wanted to get in front of it. Yeah, she wanted to be, I guess, transparent. But at the same time, maybe to soften the blow and the shock that we all were going to get when we saw the footage. Because we were, I don't know about you, but I was shocked when I saw the footage that we saw. Katrina, thank you so much for the 5. I watched the videos on Friday with you and the family. I'm still traumatized. Yeah, I think we all are, right? We're all absolutely just blown away. Absolutely blown away. Also, I will say this too. Maybe the chief of police is saying that just to save her own ass. I said it. Maybe she's saying it just so she doesn't lose her job. And she's like, hey, you know what? I need to say what I need to say right now, because if I don't, I could lose my job too. But still, at the end of the day, this is still part of a unit that you oversee. So this man's blood is on the chief's hand as well. It is on the Memphis Police Department's hands as well. They trained these men. They told them how to react and how to do things out here in these streets. The police department has just as much of responsibility and should be taking as much accountability as anyone else. Period, point blank. They are the ones who are keeping those guys employed. Well, not anymore. But at the time, they're the ones who employ those men. And apparently, that's how they conduct things. That Scorpion unit, apparently that's how they conduct things, even with other criminals that are doing really, really bad things in the city. So God knows how many other criminals maybe, or innocent people, they have bludgeoned. Maybe not to their demise, but savagely hurt because they broke a crime or broke a law. Think about that. Think about that for a second. Because you know for a fact that was not their first rodeo. The only difference is they got caught. The only difference is this young man lost his life, and that there were security cams out there exposing it all. But you know for a fact that is just a regular Friday night for them. I'm telling you guys. Misty Blue, thank you so much for the 5 Canadian. Near the end of the body cam video, an officer is saying that saying they had one in custody. Another officer says, what? I believe they stopped the wrong guy. I think that might have been the situation too, where they just thought he matched the description of somebody else or something. I don't But it's weird. You savagely beat the hell out of this guy. For what reason? He did nothing. He did nothing. But look at these guys that just hopping on top of him like he's... That's messed up, y'all. And I'm telling you, it's more than just these 5 men. There are more, and they said that there's other ones under investigation, and some have been relieved without pay, but their faces aren't all over the social media and showing their asses. Let me see their faces too. Where they at? Because I guarantee you, it's more than just 5. Damn, it's more than 6, baby. I guarantee you, it's more than that. Okay. Miss Kim, thank you so much for the 5. I came in after the video, after discussing it in the chat. I don't think I can watch it. Just the description is horrifying and causing my tears. Yeah, no, I mean, it is not for the faint of heart. Okay? It is not content that I think anybody would want to see. Period. No one does. No one should see. No one should see that because it shouldn't exist. You see what I'm saying? It shouldn't exist. And yet it does. Because again, this is a tale as old as time. Like, it's a tale as old as time. We've seen these stories millions and millions of times before. Just this time, we've seen it at a bird's eye view. This is just a little different than George Floyd. This is just a little different than Rodney King. Why didn't cops render aid? Yep. After he became unresponsive. And why did EMTs wait 20 minutes after arriving to help him out? Exactly. Remember the 2 dudes that showed up and I was like, oh yeah, they're witch doctor bags and all that stuff. I wasn't trying to throw shade. I was just saying, like, dag nabbit. They have all the medicine and all the things that they can be doing. They can be using a defibrillator if they need to use it. They have plenty of things that they could be using to administer aid to this man who is literally leaking out and fighting for his life, probably trying to stay awake. Okay. And these guys just stood there and watched him. And that was okay. So it takes more than 20 minutes after Nichols is beaten on the pavement before any sort of medical attention is provided, even though 2 fire department officers arrived on the scene with medical equipment within 10 minutes. Can you believe that? And I hope to sweet Jesus, Tyre Nichols' mother has not seen this footage, because she would burn I don't want to say those words, but she would shake the very foundation of that police department. That's all I'm going to say. These guys showed up. Even the fire department officers are just standing there. Again, why would you do something like that? This is a man's life. Whether he made them run, whether he broke a crime, like he broke a law and did some crime, he's still a civilian. He is still a human being. He still has rights, and yet they did nothing for 20 minutes. Probably the most crucial minutes that could have been used to save this young man, and they didn't. Miche Sensei, Tyre's mom said she didn't want to watch all the videos. Yeah, I don't blame her. Priya, thank you. This one just angers me. Raven, the inhumanity is shocking and sickening. Absolutely. It just angers me because I keep thinking this could be any of us, y'all. This could literally be any of us. This could be any of us. This could be any of us. I don't care, y'all. Like, this could be any of us. Polka dotted, black, Mexican, brown, Asian, white, translucent. Okay, doesn't matter. This could happen to any of us. All right? And it shouldn't. We shouldn't be seeing. It just woosah. Pressure points, y'all. Woosah. It just angers me, man. It just angers me. I love people. I love everybody. That's the thing. I love people so much. Man, the phone calls that we do, we're not doing any speak on it segment tonight because I no. But when I hear your voices and we have these conversations and all that, I wish you understand how much that it warms my heart. That's how much I love hearing life through the phone, right? Life through these calls and all that, because I love people. People are amazing. And then people can be just absolutely horrendous. But then when you hear something about a kid like this and you see his photography and you see who he is and his passions and all that, and he still lost his life, it just still makes you realize how much and how close to home that could actually be. And that's beyond race. And everyone's trying to make it not everyone, but people are trying to take it down that route and try to make it be all about, oh, he's a black. Yes, he's a black man. Absolutely. And yes, the crimes that are the lives that have been lost within the black community against the police are astoundingly high in comparison to many other races. But at the same time, this is also still a story that could have happened to any person being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Rashida just said this too, Taylor, and that's true. You could be doing everything right and still, yep. It's, let me continue. Let me continue. All right. So, yeah. So the other question is, why did it take 20 minutes for EMTs to do anything? 2 fire department officers showed up, had medical equipment, could have done whatever they needed to do to take care of this situation. And they didn't do a doggone thing. They just sat there and watched him. And I'm still wondering why. And then on top of it, let me say this too. Why aren't they catching no charges? They let this man bleed out. Why aren't they catching any charges? Unless they're saying that those are some of the other officers that are being under investigation. But I don't think that there needs to be any investigation when you see, there are EMTs. Oh, trying to see if I can find it. But there are EMTs just chilling. They're just chilling on the side. They don't care. What happened? And why aren't they doing something about it? That's disturbing, y'all. Now, let me get into that here in a second. Let me pull this up really quick. Thank you so much, Bella Ciao. Ciao, Bella. Thank you so much for the 5. Love is repaid with love alone. We need change. It starts within ourselves. R.I.P. Tyre. My heart goes out to his family. Absolutely. And thank you so much for saying that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But we got to go into this one, because I know a lot of us are still trying to figure out and try to find out exactly what was it that took his life. Now, we've heard so many different things. So maybe this will answer some of those questions, because I don't think of the full autopsy has come out, but maybe it has come out. But let's take a look at this. So video released on Friday shows at least 10 cops and 2 paramedics milling about casually for nearly 20 minutes as Nichols lies on the ground critically injured. He passed on in the hospital 3 days later in intensive care on January 10th after suffering cardiac arrest and kidney failure as a result of his injuries. Police were seen, we already know about that. Let me pull this down. Authorities have yet released an autopsy report. There it is. So the autopsy report has not fully come out yet. So it has not fully come out to fully explain exactly which injuries unalived him and how they were inflicted. But we already seen the video, so we know how it was inflicted. Let's keep it real. An independent autopsy found he suffered extensive bleeding caused by a severe beating. Let me say that again. And a lot of times you're going to see families do those independent autopsies because families, most of the time, especially when it's a crime done by 5-0, you'll see that even the autopsy that's done by the coroner and all that, they're trying to protect, so on and so forth. So they'll extend the truth a little bit or whatever. So then you have families sitting there going, I don't believe it. So I want an independent autopsy done on my child. And this is exactly what they did. So they did an independent autopsy. Understandably, I would have done the same doggone thing. Okay? Just to make sure without a shadow of a doubt. How my son passed is how he passed, right? Nothing but the truth, right? So, an independent autopsy found he suffered extensive bleeding caused by a severe beating. And we all saw the videos, y'all. So we all been seeing that. And if they sit there and go, oh yeah, he was smoking weed and that's what, man, y'all need to shut up. Okay? Because what happened to him, I'm surprised he survived for 3 days. Dory McNulty, what's up? Thank you so much for the 5. Let's all stream Love's a New Love Today. Love's in New of Love Today by Stevie Wonder after your show. Perfect song for the world this weekend. Absolutely. You know, and it sucks that we're talking about this and not talking about something lighter, you know. And what I mean by that is it just sucks that we're talking about this. You know, this young man is, you know, love's in need of love today. Sorry. Love's in need of love. Okay. By Stevie Wonder. Not a bad idea. Well, I might take you up on that idea. Okay. But thank you, Dory. Good idea. Where was I? Okay, so there it is. So video raises disturbing questions about the apparent lack of action from first responders to treat Nichols after he was kicked and punched in the head, struck 3 times with a metal baton, sprayed twice in the face with pepper spray. They arrived on the scene about 5 minutes after the assault on Nichols concluded, at which point he was handcuffed and slumped against the side of a car. The video shows a paramedic leaning over Nichols saying, "What do you have? We're trying to get you straight. What do you have?" And it's like, and then of course he's heard gurgling noise. He's heard making gurgling noise, but appears unable to speak, although he's been heard speaking clearly and relatively calmly before the assault. The officers at the scene were heard remarking that Nichols was on something. He was high as a kite as they wisecracked after the assault. Cops may have advised the paramedics that he was on drugs, though no evidence that he was has emerged on the weeks following the assault. That's the other thing. And I cannot wait I cannot wait for the uh, toxicology report to come back saying that, like, maybe he had, I don't know, maybe he was clean, absolutely nothing in his system, or that there was just like maybe a little bit of maybe THC or something. Maybe. But he wasn't on anything. He was totally fine talking. He was not slurring his words. He wasn't acting strange or anything like that. This was a regular guy just driving his car back home to his mom. That is it. And and maybe you never know. You never know. It just doesn't make any sense, man. It just doesn't make any sense. And then we look at the I'm not showing you guys because right here at the bottom of this page here is his photo, and I can't show that to you guys, okay? Because it's too graphic. But that photo alone shows a broken jaw, shows more than just a broken jaw. Let's just say that. These guys worked him terribly. Missed Siren, thank you so much for the 5. His head was swelling from the hits. Get him to the hospital ASAP. Yeah, and guess what? What did they do? They just let him sit there. And then the EMTs are going, "I'm trying to get you straight. What do you have? Bro? What do you think I got? Look at my face. The hell you on, man? I'm leaking out here, and he can't even talk. He wasn't even able to speak because he had a broken jaw." And shoot, all I'm saying right now is that body cam or not that body cam. Man, sorry, I just saw the photo again. They worked that man. Okay? They worked that man. That just threw me off. But we got to talk about this really quick. Now, I said earlier, please remind me. Please remind me of the haymakers. Them haymakers. It looked like from the reflection, it was either this guy here or this guy down here that was talking. Okay. Hold on real quick. Tish in Tennessee, thank you so much for the 5. Thank you for not only covering this, but the way you do so. Thank you. And Tish, thank you. I really do appreciate that so much. And I appreciate everybody who's here talking with me and being a part of this conversation. If you guys can just do me that small favor, can you send the likes past 1K? That would really, really mean a lot. Hit that like button. Send those likes past 1K. That would be amazing. And of course, because a like doesn't cost a thing, but it gets the conversation out there. But also, if you can, do me the small favor, hit that subscribe button as well. You're missing out on a great show if you haven't done so yet. All right. We talk about a lot of things on this channel, everything from pop culture, controversy, celebrity interviews, true crime, politics, you name it. We talk about it all here. Okay. So that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay. But, well, Devin Sauls said, totally unrelated, but you might want to look into the Justin Roland allegations, leaked audio clips, and DMs. Yeah, I'll be looking into that for sure. I promise you, I'll be looking into that because there's so many other stories that I want to look into as well because there's a lot going on outside of this. But we will be getting back to our regularly scheduled program because there's a lot to talk about. Okay. But let's talk about haymakers. So those two guys that I just told you guys, I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's the guy in the middle or the guy in the bottom left side. Okay. But the guy who said, oh, yeah, I was throwing these haymakers, man, all that. He took off his body cam. I kid you not. I'm not crazy. We all saw it. Dude took off his body cam. And I don't know if he took off his body cam before the tussle in the corner when they started to beat him, or if that intentionally fell off, like if that accidentally fell off during the fight. So either he took it off twice, or he most definitely took it off when he started talking about beating this young man. As soon as he started talking about, oh, the haymakers, man, I was throwing those haymakers, bro. As soon as he said that he had taken off his body cam. Because it was on his body the entire time. When he was walking around, he's talking about all these things and everything. As soon as he wanted to talk about him putting harm onto this man, he took off the body cam and placed it on the back of a car. And then went off to talk about his putting pain on this young man. Haymakers, and oh my God, he's definitely on something because I gave him haymakers. That one lick from me would have been enough to knock him the F out. Yet he was still standing. Let me tell you something. He wasn't even standing. You had some of your boys holding him up. That man was not even able to stand up straight. He was weak in the knees. And this mother lover, one of these five, took off his body cam to talk about him administering pain onto this young man, Tyre Nichols. If that doesn't show you corruption, if that does not show you, then I don't know what is. Then it makes you wonder, have they all been trained this way? The other ones didn't think about doing that at all. Not one that I saw. Not from the other videos that we saw. They all seem to have their body cams still on their bodies. Did they get this trained when they became part of the Scorpion unit? You know, one of the best in elite. Out here to kick ass and take names. Kicking crime in the booty. Scorpion unit. Like, is that what it is? So now they do this ish. They use excessive force, and they're above the law, like they're Judge Dredd. Come on now. That man took off his body cam so that he could talk to his boys about beating up this guy and how he could take a licking. And that, he must have been on something because the amount of haymakers I gave him, man, that would have taken somebody out. Let's not forget someone else, one of these guys, and I'm thinking haymaker guy was the guy in the middle, or it may be the same dude, I don't know. And then this bald guy down in the bottom, right here, okay, this dude right here, Desmond Mills Jr., it looks like, was the one with the baton, with the retractable baton. But I think that was the same dude. I just realized that. That was actually the same dude. So it was either the guy up in the middle or the guy in the bottom left. Same dude that used that baton was the same dude that did the haymakers too, and was taking off his baton, or taking off his body cam, at very convenient moments so that he could talk about things, about administering pain onto this young man. Then I remember, because in the body cam, he went back near the end of the body cam. He takes the baton and he's trying to retract it because it's out, and he's trying to retract it by shoving it into the ground, right? He's trying to put retract the baton, but he can't do it because it's out, so it's like stuck. As he's walking around, heaving, and that's the same dude. That's the same dude, y'all. Huh. I'm really thinking it's the bottom left guy, but that's speculation. I don't know who it is. Okay. But we've seen countless times of other cops do that. We've seen them caught in 4K, them taking off their body cam or trying to turn off their body cam and trying to make it seem like they made a mistake and all that stuff. Real talk. Real talk. I got some super chats. Hold on. So somebody said, haymaker, dude? Yeah, the guy he took off his body cam and he talked about giving Tyre haymakers, like get big punches, big swings to the face. We all saw that, right? And he talked about haymakers. He took off his body cam to do that, to specifically do that. And if you don't believe me, go back to my video. Trust me, it's mother loving there. And it's there. You can't avoid it, y'all. You just can't. Maria D, thank you so much for the 20. I'm really upset about this. At least I'm here with like-minded people. Yes. Yes. Yeah, and yes. So his neck is also broken. That's what I'm hearing. But I want to like, I'd love to get like the full autopsy to say, so that we know for a fact. I've been hearing that through the grapevine. But I have yet to see the autopsy or the independent autopsy saying, confirming that. But I've heard that story that his neck was broken. But I believe it. I believe it. You see that kind of carnage. I wouldn't. How does anybody survive that? How does anybody survive that? Real talk. How does anybody? Miss Kim, thank you so much for the 10. A haymaker. The name is derived from the motion which mimics the action of manually cutting hay by swinging a scythe. I think it's a scythe, right? Sorry, guys. It's considered one of the most powerful punches in boxing. Makes me sick. Thank you so much for the breakdown. But yeah, haymaker dude. He was like, I was giving him haymakers. Because Tyre was being held up, and we saw some cops go up there and just crank all the way back. They were trying to take his face off. Okay? Insane. Now all 5 of these dudes are out here in these streets kicking rocks, breathing in this freedom air. Real talk. All these mother lovers are. Ridiculous. They should have stayed in prison or jail a little bit longer. That's what I think. Okay? Because inmates and people in jail do not like cops, and they'll make their times a really bad time. Okay? But Faith Fit Fun, thank you so much for the 10. Prison injustice equals inmates ready and willing to land some haymakers in each and every one of these clowns. Absolutely. Absolutely. Justice for Tyre. I'm with you 100% on that. Okay. You know what? Actually, that's a good question. Let me pull that up. Somebody just asked about the Scorpion unit. Let me see if this answers a little bit. Hopefully it does. We shall see. Oof. I can't even show you guys that. Oh, all right, because it's just gruesome. So real quick. So it says MPD, Memphis Police Department shuts down Scorpion unit. And this was as of yesterday. Okay. So this is brand spanking new. Okay. The shutdown, the dismantling of the Scorpion unit. Okay. So maybe they'll explain a little bit more in this. Okay. Because I had to hop around the photo because the photo's too much for me to see right now. So the special task force, okay, which all 5 officers involved in Tyre Nichols passing belong to, is being dismantled for good. An about face after the top dog said she wouldn't do it. So they announced on Saturday, yesterday, they were deactivating the Scorpion unit effective immediately. This is in the wake of the public outcry following the release of this body cam footage that we already saw the other night and all that. So they say right here, okay, and this is their public statement: Scorpion unit deactivated. Today, Memphis police officers assigned to the Scorpion unit street crimes operations to restore peace in our neighborhoods met with Chief C.J. Davis to discuss the path forward for the department and the community in the aftermath of the tragic demise of Tyre Nichols. In the process of listening intently to the family of Tyre Nichols, community leaders, and the uninvolved officers who have done quality work in their assignments, it is in the best interest of all to permanently deactivate the Scorpion unit. The officers currently assigned to the unit agree unreservedly with this next step. While the heinous actions of a few cast a cloud of dishonor on the title Scorpion, it is imperative that we, the MPD, take proactive steps in the healing process for all impacted. The MPD remains committed to serving our community and taking every measure possible to rebuild the trust that has been negatively affected by the death of Mr. Tyre Nichols. That's what they put out recently. So, of course, they're saying that they said that the remaining officers that were a part of the Scorpion unit, which was the street crimes operations to restore peace in our neighborhoods, they I guess they all mutually came to an agreement or came to a decision that it'd be best to disband the unit in light of everything. MPD says that they've made the decision after listening to the family of Tyre, community leaders, and the public at large, noting that the officers who were a part of Scorpion and who do fine work normally, right, agreed with this next step. Okay? So, Chief Davis on Friday said she wouldn't be shutting. So she said initially on Friday that she wouldn't be shutting down Scorpion, telling AP the whole idea that the Scorpion unit is a bad unit. I just have a problem with that. Well, she changed her mind, obviously. Okay. There's been a lot of digging into what this unit was / why officers were in it, had any reason to come into contact with Tyre on the night of question. Scorpion was formed in October 2021. So not very long ago, and was launched the following month. So it's been around for just over a year. So it's brand new. Now, it said, according to the MPD's description of Scorpion at the time, the whole idea of it was to get about 40 officers split into 4 teams to patrol high crime hotspots all throughout Memphis. And of course, we already know Tyre's traffic stop turn chase occurred on the intersection of East Rains Road and Ross Road near the Autumn Ridge neighborhood, which appears to be one of the areas Scorpion was assigned to cover. The fact 5 of its cops were there is no coincidence. And the chief of police has since said no evidence has surfaced for why Tyre was pulled over in the first place. Reckless driving was cited, but proof of probable cause for that is non-existent. I mean, it's crazy because you see that these are they basically made bulldogs, right? Guard dogs. They wanted to create. Karen, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. I do appreciate it. They wanted to create like vicious guard dogs. That's what it sounds like to me. They wanted to create some people that were going to strike fear into the cities, into areas that are riddled with crime, riddled with drugs, etc., high crime areas. And so they were creating these like hardcore cowboys, okay? Dirty Harrys, all right? But not every single situation calls for that type of blunt force reaction, that over the top type of thing. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, like henchmen. You know? It's crazy. It's crazy. So Danielle just said something that just caught my eye. Hold on. Where did it? Well, I can't pull it up here, unfortunately. But Danielle said if they did this to Tyre, how many other people have they hurt physically, etc.? That's what I want to know. Exactly. And that's exactly what I said earlier. Clearly, they have done this before. This is not the first person that they've beaten up savagely. Maybe they've never beaten somebody up to the point up to their demise, but they definitely have brought some people in leaking. You know what I'm saying? Leaking red all over the place. And then they're just sitting there going, "Oh yeah, he just ran into my fist," or "No, he grabbed my gun." Like this is they street stomped him like they were gang members, y'all. I said it, and I don't care. And that's sad and messed up. But you also got other people out here saying that, "Oh, this is what happened." Exactly, John Masters. I just saw that dogs are treated way better than what they did to Tyre. Okay. All right. But you got people out here. I mean, let's keep it real. People sitting out here making comments on Tucker Carlson and all that. And however you feel about Tucker Carlson and all that, that's on you. I'm not sitting here saying anything about that. The comments that were being said on Tucker Carlson's show was absolutely mind blowing to me. Oh, this is what happens when you got single parent households and stuff like what? This has nothing to do with that. This has to do with people being just absolutely savage out here and not knowing when to keep their hands to themselves. Like, what the hell are you talking about? But people have the audacity to say certain things and try to spin this around like this is what happens when single mothers and single parent households happen. This is the gang violence type of mentality. Like, what? What? These were Memphis's best and brightest that swore to serve and protect. This had nothing to do with having a single mama or a single daddy. The hell are you talking about? But see, that's the problem. They'll find every single excuse under the sun to justify it because of X, Y, and Z. Outer things, outer elements are the cause of all this, instead of just looking at it for what it is. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cops, okay? A gang of cops beating the hell out of an innocent young man for no reason. Cops that feel that they're above the law and can take and feel that they can take matters into their own hands, especially if they're frustrated with the person that they're trying to detain. And what's sad is they were in a dark corner on the outskirts of their town, and they thought that because it was dark and dimly lit out, that they can treat this guy the way that they did. But guess what? Thank God for technology and for street corner cams, because we all got it and we saw everything. But I'm telling you, if we didn't have that footage from the street lamps, we'd hear a completely different narrative right now. We would hear that he tried to hit one of the cops. We would hear that he tried to grab one of the cops' guns. We would hear that he wasn't compliant. We would hear that he was being high on something. We would hear all these excuses under the sun. And what's sad about it is that they're still going to try to create some sort of narrative. The powers that be, the ones that are against the flow, against good, against transparency and truth, are going to try to find everything in their power to try to flip this around and make it seem like it's something else that it is not. They will try to make it seem like he's on drugs. They will try to make it seem like it's fentanyl. They will try to make it seem like he tried to reach for the gun or do something like that when he did not. But that narrative will be out there. That narrative will be constructed, and there will be a group of people that will stand on that and seriously use that and say, this is the hill that they're going to die on. There will be a group of people out here that will sit here and go, oh, that whole thing could have been avoidable. He didn't have to run. If he just stayed right there, he would have lived. I don't know about all that. I really don't. And yes, it's not the greatest idea to get up and run, okay? It's not. But I get it that he was scared out of his mind. Those cops were over the top. Even their own chief of police, their own boss, said this was over the top. This young man should still be alive and should have been let go with a citation or maybe a warning if it was a regular good old-fashioned cop. But these Scorpion Unit mother lovers decided to take matters into their own hands and say, hey, we just want to have we just want some practice today. So we're going to use him as a punching bag today. And that's exactly what they did. So I'm saying this, and the reason why I'm saying all this right now is because I want to keep this absolutely 110% clear with every single one of y'all. You will hear those narratives. You will hear that BS being said out here. Give it time. Someone will concoct some BS. But you know what? We all saw the truth on Friday. We all saw the truth. You tell me if he was on drugs. You tell me if he was reaching for a gun. You tell me if he was being aggressive or a threat. And I'll keep showing you guys that footage that shows otherwise. We all saw the truth on Friday night. Footage and truth that I don't want to see. I didn't want to see that. No one needs to see that. Because that kind of treatment on another human being should never exist. But guess what? It does. And that's the sad part of it all. The part that is very extremely upsetting about it is that there are going to be people out here that are going to try to justify it. And that's why we go back all over again to the beginning. And then we see another hashtag justice for such and such, because no one looks at this and says, this needs to stop right now. Because there's other cops out here that are listening and watching these other people say, oh no, it was justified. Feeling like what they are doing is just, and then they go out there and they create another hashtag. That needs to stop. That needs to stop right now. And that's the reason why I brought up this show or talked about this today. Because, hey, you saw the corruption. You saw the disgusting moves that they made on this young man. Everything from removing their body cams to administering some serious injuries to this young man. And yet some of those cops could still be out on the streets today, right now, tonight. And I'm telling you this because I know that I have an amazing family here of all shapes, colors, creeds, beliefs, etc. You guys are all amazing. From all the young to the very old. And you're only as old as you feel, okay? But this could happen to any of us. So I say, please, guys, just be safe. Be safe out there. This is a sad reality. This is a harsh reality of what it's really like out here. This was a young man that didn't do anything except take some photos of a sunset and get in his car. And until I actually see the footage of a car recklessly driving on the street with him behind the wheel, I'm going to continue saying, because right now we have nothing so far. This man was an innocent man that was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And he had a whole bunch of dudes that were just all roided out, I guess, that just wanted to take out their frustrations and anger on an innocent young man. Just be safe out there, guys. And when the BS comes out, because it's coming, when the BS does come out, just remember what you saw on Friday night. That's all I ask. Remember what you saw on Friday night. Because that's the truth. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. You guys have been really incredible. I appreciate the talk. Sam Panther, welcome to the family. Thank you so much for becoming a part of the family. That really does mean a lot, okay? Because like I said, you guys are all amazing. Every last one of y'all watching the show, being a part of the conversation, it really does mean a lot. One thing really quick before I get going, please, if you guys can go and subscribe to my secondary channel, it is Pascal Show Clips. That would really, really mean a lot. We are starting to put out a lot of clips from past shows and all that onto that secondary channel, because I know that we do these long shows here, but I definitely want those over there so you guys could, like, clips from highlights from our shows over there so you guys can see, listen to those. Sometimes you don't want to watch an hour and a half show. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just want the bits. So I got the Pascal Show Clips. So go subscribe to that, the Pascal Show Clips. That would really, really mean a lot. All right. If you guys appreciated this conversation, please do not forget to hit that like button down below. It'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, and we went past 1K. Look at that. Look at you guys. You guys are amazing. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay. I talk about a lot of things on this channel. And if you like the stuff I talk about, please, by all means, hit that subscribe button. Be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. And of course, just like all the other people who have just become members today, all right? Please consider hitting that join button and becoming a part of the family. It'd be awesome to have you a part of the membership as well, all right? So anyway, guys, it's time for me to get going. I appreciate all y'all. Appreciate the conversation. We got more stories to tell and hopefully more lives to save tomorrow and it's for the rest of the week. So I'm going to get going, but I will be back on tomorrow to chop it up with you guys and talk about more things because we got some other stories that we need to bring up as well. And if there's any more developing news about this here, you know for a fact I will be on to tell you guys about that too. Okay? But again, you guys are amazing. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Go play that Love is Need or something like that. Love Need. I forgot the title of the song. The Stevie Wonder track. Go check it out. Listen to it. We all need to hear something good right now. So go and do that. All right. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for more stories. All right. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.